Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis and welcome back to the very first video of the 300 after the overhaul. Now, if you're new to the channel and you're kind of wondering what the heck is going on, go ahead and check out some of the previous videos in this series, or just check out one of the live streams if you want to know what this tank looked like before I took it down. Now, there's been some pretty big changes and we're going to talk about that here in this video. And yeah, so overall, the tank looks okay. Yeah, it's pretty empty. There are a few corals that I left on the rock structures, not too much. I basically just kind of trimmed some stuff down. Gonna leave those there. And we took out an entire rock structure, and of course there's a little bit left on this far right one. Now, the biggest change to this whole tank is there's no more Big Bertha. Let me go ahead and show you where she's at right now. I actually put her in the tub there. Maybe. There's some corals, which we're gonna be putting in the tank here soon. Where are you at, Big B? Oh, there you are. She is right there, kind of. You guys can see her, but yes, so she's a living large, literally, and she's having a pretty good time in this tub. She's doing good. Like I mentioned before on my live stream, the boys like to pet her, and she's going to be in here for a little while. I will end up probably bringing her to an aquarium at some point, but right now, she's the only fish in the tub, and she's doing pretty decent. Now, back over here to the 300. Yeah, so she is the primary reason why I had to do this overhaul. If you guys have been here for a while, yeah, she basically destroyed the entire tank. Her big-headed bulldozing lifestyle, living on the edge there, basically swimming into all of my colonies. There's been many times that I've found 12-inch or bigger colonies just laying on the bottom of the tank in the morning. So, with that, I haven't been able to grow any coral in this tank for quite a while. They would get about 5 or 6 inches long or tall or whatever wide. Basically, that's about as big as they would get. She'd come through, knock them over. I don't think she has something against coral. I just think that she's a bulldozer and likes to swim pretty fast, and well, corals took a hit because of it. So with that, I went ahead and removed her, and I replaced her with 2 more hippo tangs that I had, these 2 smaller ones. Trying to find my finger on the screen. These 2 smaller ones here. I went ahead and put them in here. They were in my tub, and I also went ahead and added 3 small Scopus tangs. There's 1, 2, and then the one back there. And yeah, so that's all I have for fishing here right now, besides what I had before. On top of that, I also went ahead and removed the, I think it was a yellowhead spotted moray eel. Really cool eel, really liked how he was personality-wise, but he did eat about half the fish in this tank, and, well, he had to go as well. So he already went to a new home, and is doing pretty well there. So, removed the eel, removed Big Bertha, and I also went ahead and removed one of the 4 rock structures. Actually, the one that was to the my right, or yeah, I guess the right of this one here in the middle. And basically what happened over time with that rock structure, it just got hit so many times by the fish, me moving it around, and just kind of working on it in general, and it just became loose. I did have acrylic rods holding it together, but it just became loose, and when I took it out of the tank, you'll see in the video, one of the videos in this series, when I was cutting off the coral, it basically just crumbled to nothing. So I completely removed that and just went back to having 3 rock structures, or just went to 3 rock structures, and then went ahead and moved the left one and the right one a little bit closer to the inside. That way when we grow out our colonies, we won't have them touching the glass like we had before. And I also went ahead and added a couple pieces of extra rock that I had to this rock structure because it just kind of seemed really empty. So yeah, that's about it when it comes to adding and removing things. Now, what's going to happen next? Well, I'm going to go ahead and add those frags that I kind of showed you here in a second. Add a buddy. There's only 2 tanks in the whole world besides my own that I actually trust. And my buddy went ahead and brought me over 20 frags. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I'll probably put the names up of what's going in there right now. So I'm going to add those 20 frags, plus the ones that I want to add that were in here previously. So we're looking at about 40-ish frags that I'll be adding to this tank probably today, between today and tomorrow. And basically kind of just start this whole tank over again. It's interesting, given that it's about, what, 4 years old? Something like that? 4 years old, maybe going on 5. I'll have to double check when I set this whole system up. But either way, it's about 4 or 5 years old, and it's starting over. Kind of not something I wanted to do, but as I mentioned before, I really needed to start this over because it's been affecting the business with me selling coral, not being able to grow colonies, not being able to produce content because the tank looked like crap, and it just was a whole bunch of stuff that needed to happen, and yes, I just went ahead and started over. Now, on top of all the changes that I talked about before, I also went ahead and did the power heads, cleaned those out, I probably should have mentioned this stuff before. I got new T5 bulbs. So if you guys are wondering, I run 4 Blue Plus and 4 Tinic and 8 XR15s. I went ahead and also fixed the XR15 that was giving me an issue. So cleaned the pumps, cleaned return pumps, cleaned the power heads, fixed the lighting, added new bulbs, of course, everything that I mentioned before. So essentially, the tank is quote-unquote new. It's back to kind of from the beginning, kind of from scratch. So now, the only thing that I was concerned about that I mentioned to you guys before is with this rock structure, there was a ton of encrusting Montes. I sprayed this thing. You guys will see that in the videos. You probably have seen it by now. I don't really know where this one's going to fit in the series, but either way, there was a lot. Thank you for whoever that is. Appreciate the support. And yeah, so there was a lot of stuff on there that was living and killing other corals. So hopefully in that couple days it was outside and being power washed and being in the freezing ice and cold, it killed off all that encrusting Monte, and we won't have that stuff come back. But yeah, really excited to kind of see how this rock turns out with all the new coral. But yeah, I don't want to drag this on too much. We've been going for about 6 minutes. Overall, this is officially day 1 of the 300-gallon reef. Day 1/5 years or 4 years, whatever it might be. And the next video I'm going to show you guys will be adding the coral to the tank. I'll probably just set this camera up, and you guys will just see a lot of my ass in the dark trying to put frags in this. So we'll see how that turns out. But either way, stay tuned to that video and stay tuned to whatever else happens, because I don't know where this is going to be in the series. All right, guys, so that's it. Appreciate the support, and I'll see you later. Peace.